What's going on, y'all? Fabian speaks, and we are back with another video. And this video is titled essentially along the lines of why you should keep your circle small, because people will naturally sabotage you knowingly or unknowingly. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go ahead and hop into this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop a video. And I appreciate everybody who's been funneling in through the live streams, subscribing to the channel and engaging with a lot of the content. Man, keep commenting down below, give me y'all's feedback. If y'all have insight into other videos or topics that y'all want me to tackle, put those in the comment section as well. So yeah, I kind of alluded to this in a previous video, to where I was talking about holding things close to your chest, because that's how the enemy will manipulate you, weaponize it to use it against you, right? So this is kind of tied to that, because you always heard about people talking about keeping their circle small the older they got. And I would get this game from a lot of people that were older than me, wiser people that kind of obviously been around the block, have more tenure, and just wise through trial, tribulation, and experience. And they would always talk about, man, keep your circle small. The people that always talk about, I have a lot of friends. In actuality, those aren't your friends, because a friend, people throw around the word friend so loosely nowadays that, like, oh, that's my friend. But I think being a friend is earned over time, right? Because the makeup of a friend consists of like solidarity, consistency, actually being there for one another. Like, all the friends that you have on Facebook aren't your friends, because just because it says Facebook friend doesn't mean those are literally your friends. But people will have the gall to say, man, I got 500 friends, I got 30 friends. And it's like, you're never spending time with them. You're never having in-depth conversations. Y'all haven't been in situations to where y'all had to support each other or lean on each other. So in actuality, that's not a friend. You may tie it to an acquaintance, maybe somebody that you know of, but I think there has to be things built upon for somebody to be an actual friend. So with that being said, people would always emphasize, keep your circle small. Don't have all these friends and stuff like that. And it ties into what I just mentioned, but it also ties into, I would say, like a certain energy that you want to keep, right? There's something that cultivates over time. I got 10-year friends, 15-year friends. And I know that I can lean on them, get advice from them. I know that, if I'm vulnerable in a situation, I can go to my boys and get an honest perspective, right? From a male walk of life, and then typically like a male's perspective, right? So with that being said, like, if you have all these friends, I'm a big person that advocates for us being spiritual beings first. Not everybody who's around you has good intentions. You don't know internally, like, their perspective, or if they had a hidden agenda. Don't just have people around just because you feel lonely, because you need a companionship or some company. That's the last reason to have people around. And a big reason why people have friends is because they're afraid to be alone. So they end up falling into empty relationships, empty situations that don't provide any substance. A lot of people say a friendship is a value exchange, and in the literal sense, it kind of sounds bad to put it like that, but there is that to an extent. If I'm getting advice from somebody, if I know they're reliable, if I know that I can lean on them, if I know that they're helpful, and it's vice versa, then that is a certain value exchange. It's not one taking advantage of the other, but you know that they're dependable, right? So with that being said, those are some of the characteristics that you want to even look for in a friend. So a lot of people that are afraid to be alone associate themselves with people, and they don't even know what type of energy they're aligning with, what demons these people got, what frustrations, and how people will naturally push their insecurities on you. And I ain't got time for that. And this video may segue into the fact that people need to learn how to build themselves up to where they're okay being alone. You have to be okay being alone. You have to love yourself enough to know that, me and the Lord, if it comes down to it, and that's all I got, right? Then that's all I need. You know what I mean? We always have God with us. He's forever with us. He will not forsake us. But I'm talking about in a situation to where, like, you may be in a wilderness season, an isolation season, and you're only depending on God. I used to always try to depend on friends. If I was, didn't have resources, didn't have the funds to get something done, borrow money. Hey, can you help me out? And that's not to say that's a bad thing, but God naturally wants us to be able to rely on him. So I started to get to the point to where I could trust in God to always provide, and he always has. You know, God encourages us to seek him in our times of need, to not always go to the world, to the external. You have to go inside sometimes, man. And he never can back. He's not a liar. He can't go back on his promises. God will always be there. He will always provide. But tying into that, right? Some people haven't cultivated self-sufficiency or being okay being alone. You have the people that they always need to be in a relationship, right? You know, I'm sure some of y'all got a friend that, whether it's a male, he always got a girlfriend. He breaks up with a girl, he's within another relationship. What self-development comes if you're always continuously hopping from one person to the next person to the next person? Same with women. Maybe like you have a female friend, she always is in a relationship. She got a new boyfriend every month, every quarter. What growth is allowed in these times, right? People always talk about healing, self-healing, but I don't think a lot of people do that. If that's your thing, you're just moving on to somebody else because you believe or you feel like they can satisfy what's missing within. And if you need somebody to satisfy what's missing within, you're already on bad footing. So really consider these type of things when you think about who you surround yourself and why you may or may not continuously find yourself aligning with people just because. I know people who say, this is my best friend. Y'all known each other for 2 weeks. It's just these words, these terms that people just throw around nowadays. There's no validity to any words that people use nowadays. They just say whatever. That's my friend. No, that's not. That's your associate. Comment down below if you can relate to kind of what I'm getting at. But even on top of that, right? We talk about the company you keep and how some people aren't built like you, right? Some people may have similar goals and aspirations. Other people, maybe you're not friends with them for their drive and what they want to pursue, right? So it may not always mix and mingle correctly, but I'm emphasizing the point at where like people who don't have aspiration, people who are Debbie Downers, all they do is bring you down. When you try to speak to your vision, your dream, they can't really hold that. They can't contain that or sustain that, even though it's understood it's not for them. I like to surround myself with people who encourage my path, my walk. You know, not people who, oh my God, you think you can do that? Oh, that's not going to happen. It's like people naturally push their own securities because they're onto you because they are fearful. They can't fathom or imagine a reality to where these type of things exist. And that's why you're set apart. That's why you're different. Because your brain processes these things in a different kind of way, in a different manner. So really understand that, man. And keeping a circle small, aligning with people who you aspire to be like, that's a part of it as you grow up. As a kid, you tend to just run various circles because it's all about fun. And you haven't really built the depth of to an extent of the understanding of how life plays out. You know, they always say after high school, kids go to college. They always say like the kids you befriend in college are lifelong friends, lifetime friends. Because in high school, it's all willy-nilly. It's very facade. It's not real. In high school, it's all about the popular groups and these cliques. And then, like, there's a lot of people I don't speak to from high school. They may be on my Facebook profile, but I don't even really get on Facebook. And people just people watch. They just want to watch you. And these are people that just observe you from a distance. And it's like, that's why Facebook is trash. Social media is trash. People won't interact with you or engage with you. They just want to watch you, spy on you. Oh, what's he up to? But they don't even have the consideration to say, hey, what's up? Hi. There's no decency amongst men. It's just like this covert, undercover psyop. It's just weird in today's world, man. People aren't people anymore. And the digital era, the social era has confused that to a large extent. But keep the circle small and understand not everybody's built like you. Not everybody can, coincide or commingle with your energy, your frequency. And a lot of people don't know that. They naturally sabotage themselves. They naturally slow down their progression. Some people have a lot of momentum in life, and then they align with somebody who got no momentum. It just slows down their whole progress. So Comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this. Agree, disagree. I think a lot of people, if they understood these dynamics, instead of just being willy-nilly, I'm friends with this person and that person, or knew how to cut people out of their life when they know that this person's just a drag. They're not contributing to my greater good. And it's not about you, right? It's vice versa. You contribute to them, they contribute to you. But if there's no dynamic like that, and they're succubuses, right? They just drain your energy, they drain your time, they drain your mental health, they drain like everything in its full capacity. These are people you need to get rid of. So be cognizant of the circle and the people you keep around you, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless y'all. We'll see you on the next video.